Good morning, everyone. It's a sunny day after 10 a little bit. So we're out with the babies. You can see my little guy. He's still up. He's still up. Is he? Is he still up? Oh, sweet. And then this is my sleeping beauty. They just finished announcing around the neighborhood in the radio those big speakers that they have put all over the neighborhood. And they had an earthquake drill. So there's like this sound that you hear. Even it comes on your phone when it warns you like how many minutes or seconds before, I don't know, a real earthquake, but it's like drun, 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 like something like that. So you hear that and you know it's an earthquake. There's another one for typhoons and another one for tsunamis and then whatever. They're all different kinds of warning sounds. And yesterday I couldn't film anything. I could have done it, but I decided it was too busy and too with the little ones. I had a little project I was doing in their room to make the room a little bit warmer. So you go to the supermarket and you go to DIY store actually, and you get the bubbles wrapping, plastic wrapping, and you get like, they sell them by 2 meters or whatever, and you put that, and apparently it should be having some kind of glue on it, so when you wet the window it will stick on it. It didn't really work so well for me yesterday, but I guess I'm not reading the instructions very well because they're in Japanese and I use Google Translation. Surprise, surprise. But I left the big ones for today. But you know, in Japan they have the big screen doors, and then they have on the top little ones. They're really narrow and long and they slide too. So sometimes you could use them for fresh air instead of opening the whole thing. They're nice, but when you don't have the actual back screen for it, it's not good. It doesn't do anything good because you don't want all the bugs to come inside your house in the summer. But anyway, so you get that bubbly wrapping, and the air inside of the bubbles, I guess, helps to keep the heat inside. So apparently the rooms become a bit warmer in the winter when it's a sunny day. So I'm all for it. Like, if I have to, I would do it to keep the room warmer, where we sleep, where the babies sleep, and where the boys sleep during the day, to collect the heat and then keep it for the night. So it's a bit, maybe a few degrees higher temperatures than outside, because right now when the sun is out, believe me, it's really nice, but the wind is really chilly. It's like biting you. And at night when the sun is gone, obviously, it's really cold. It's really cold. It just drops the temperature really drastically. And next week I see on the weather, the up weather, it says already 6 degrees. 6 degrees Celsius. 6 above the zero is not warm at all. Okay, so my battery is really low. I don't know, for whatever reason my phone doesn't charge even if I put it in the charger. I guess it doesn't make the connection. It's been dropped by so many times by 2 little twins, so I'm not surprised. But I'll just keep filming until I can, until the phone dies. So that's that, guys. So today I was thinking about, let's talk honestly about life in Japan as a mom. Well, for me it sucks really bad. And this is like my venting thing. I don't have anybody to vent to. And honestly, I don't feel like venting to anybody because it's gonna feel bad for them. I don't know. It's just, my therapy is talk to the phone. It feels better. Okay. So there were a few things on my mind. Here's the difference between a man and a woman in Japan. When you're a man, you're pretty much, you can do anything you want. You can be anybody you want. You can do whatever you want. If you're a lady, it's like, I guess if you're a single lady, it's fine. You can do whatever you want too. But once you get to be in a family unit, things start changing, you know? It's not like, I don't know how you guys do it anywhere else. I wouldn't know. Even if back home, I was never married back home, so I don't really know what it's like to have a husband that talks to you every day and you have kids together. I have no idea how to speak in Bulgarian to a Bulgarian husband, and speaking to my kids in Bulgarian, I have no idea. So, but I know in the Western world, you know, people call each other like cute names and like honey bun or like honey, or no, there's no such thing here. It's just oto-san, oka-san, and that's it. Mother and father. So the husband calls the mom in front of all the kids oka-san, mom, and the wife calls him oto-san, which is dad, father. And I'm like, okay, that's really blunt, but whatever. What else? Moms, well, I stay at home with my twins when the other three go to work or go to school. And husband, he can literally do whatever he wants. He has projects, he has to prepare for work. He was telling me before the twins were born that he'll be in the mornings with us so he can help with the twins. Maybe he thinks I'm some kind of superhero and I can do everything by myself. But I try, you know, I try. It's not like I can't. I try, but it takes time. And it's pretty exhausting because, you know, they demand your attention all the time. They're little. They want to hug. They want to play with you. They like me to read them books. And they like to take walks with mommy outside too, so they can nap. So I enjoy doing that, but this part of where you need like a human communication with somebody, an adult rather than kids, that is missing. And he helps with the laundry in the morning sometimes. He wakes up first and makes some breakfast, usually for the boys before they go to school. Warms up the room for us in the winter because it's really cold when you get in the kitchen, and especially like anywhere outside of your blankets, it's really cold in the house. So he does that. But I do take care of the babies, and honestly, when the boys and their father get to bed, that's it. They sleep for the night. That's it. They just sleep through and through. Mommy here, she has to wake up I don't know how many times, cuddle dolls, because they feel like they're cold, or like they kick their blankets and they thought they were too hot, or they just want mommy hug. That's fine. I do it. So having like 2 or 3 hours straight of sleep, that's not, I don't know what that is anymore. But I would be happy if I could have 4 hours straight of sleep. I would be really happy. Sometimes they do. Sometimes I don't even wake up. It depends on what they have had. If they were awake, I do wake up at least once for bathroom, so I can cover them. Another thing I could do is just have those, you know, babies, how they put them in this like a sleeping bag but without sleeves, or sometimes you could have sleeves, I don't know. It depends on what you got. But you zip them up inside and they cannot run out of it. I should do that because I don't want them to get cold in the morning. Their hands are like ice cold when I touch them. So yeah, that's what moms are. And you know, you keep going. Like a father could just come with his phone in his hands, and he could stay in the room, with the same room where the babies are, and he could just spend loads of time on his phone, or holding the baby and having his phone, watching TV and having his phone, staring at his phone. And mommies, I don't even know sometimes where my phone is, honestly. I don't really know. Because they would drop it somewhere, or I'll be charging it, thinking it's charging, but it's not charging, as right now it is like that. So it's not like complaining, guys. I am okay with that. By now, I'm okay with that. I'm not complaining. I'm just pointing out the differences for you. So you can see what's like in Japan, in the very, very deep country where... Oh, this is the school of my kids, by the way. Where everything is just fields, and nothing else. There is this mountain that we have. It's really cool to climb it and have hikes on it. But yeah, I will go to the supermarket and I'll get stuff. I'll go to the Hawaii shop and I'll go this one because my friend and I are doing a project. Oh, okay. I'll be here with the babies all day long. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna prepare for work today. Okay, I'll be here at home and I'll be doing the usual, mopping floors and doing laundry, folding laundry. Try to fold laundry with twins around you. Oh, it's so much fun, you guys. You put everything in the laundry basket already folded to go to the drawers, like towels and underwear and stuff like that, and everything goes out in no time. You just turn around. Oh, you don't have to even turn around. They do it in front of you. They just look at straight in your eyes and they start putting things out of the basket, and you're like, okay, I'll fold it one more time. And then you do it again and again until you just give up. Yesterday we were fighting with literally two of my boys were helping me. Two of my boys and I are sitting down on the floor trying to fold the laundry. And those two little rascals just come and everything flies in the air. You know those things you see on animations, how people usually the animation character looks for something in a drawer and starts throwing things behind its back. It's like everything's flying. Yeah, I thought it was exaggeration, but it's not. It was a pure inspiration from little kids, like little babies like those two sweeties now sleeping. It's just so funny to see it. It's like, yeah, I've seen it before with the other kids I raised, but like those two, because there are two of them, it's just wow. It's like, anyways, so yeah, you could be also I was thinking yesterday while I was working, I remember always having in elementary schools I worked, always the principal was a guy, but in one of my schools the principal was a lady, and she was quite old, I have to say, but she was always really stylish and long beautiful hair and always dressed up with a skirt and suit jacket, just sharp, very sharp. And because of me, I was going there that day of the week when I was going to teach English at school. She would be like, today's the English day, so they would announce things on the radio in English. They'll say what the weather was, and they'll ask, how are you? It was really nice, and they'll play like the bingo song. So it was really fun. And she would give the other teachers in the staff room paper printout that would be with the Japanese kanji about this room, like science room, how do you say it, music room, and blah blah blah. So English is my second language, so when we went to the nurse room, I don't remember even now, I cannot remember that word, but she found it or googled it, I don't know. So she was like, is that the name of that room, is that how you call it? I'm like, I have no idea. So I checked on my phone too, and I was like, yeah, that's the word. It was something really long and weird, but I never knew that word. So I'm like, yeah, thanks for teaching me that, so I really appreciated that she was sharing knowledge with the others in the staff room, but also with me. And I feel like they had a hard time there. They were feeling stressed about it, but because it was one day of the week, they could probably do it anyway. So, but this one time, I remember the principal going to her. So they usually stay in the staff room. They have like the desk of the. So just imagine you're entering the room, and right in front of you is like the three desks of the principal, vice principal. If it's a big school, 2 vice principals, and the office lady. Usually it's a lady. The office lady that takes the calls and mails and everything, deals with all that stuff, deliveries of paper and whatever. So I usually get to be friends always with the office lady because we're always together in the staff room for a long periods of times. So But then they have this little room in the back of it, and then when you enter, you see those three, and then or four desks, and then the others are just like lined up on the sides for the other teachers. So everybody has a desk. Sometimes they have desk or two that are just like for people like me coming and going and not staying there every day. So anyways, she was going towards that little back room. They usually have they have a desk there for the principal, where she could take like private calls about sensitive matters, and they also have a couch, really nice couches there with a little tea table where she would invite guests who come and they talk about something, whatever. So that room is not very visited very often. Like, I would go there in the beginning of the school year to be introduced by my company and say my name and what, I live here, I'm a local. So anyways, so I know how they look like, but you don't really go there very often. Just the principal goes there, and then when the principal is there and the office lady wants to pass along a call, they knock on the door and they're like very respectful about that. So anyways, at one time that lady was going, the principal lady of that school was going there, and then I caught the nurse at that time, and one of the teachers, I believe, they just exchanged like really funky faces, like they'll may like roll their eyes or something, but like in a very weird Japanese way. It was not like really rolling the eyes up, it was more like making a really funny face, really. Did I get into the wrong path? Yeah, I did, probably. Okay, I have to turn around because there's just dead end here. Yeah, I took the wrong path. It's okay, I can do this. The next one was the right one, right? Yeah. Anyways, so to me, I didn't say anything, or I just didn't even show them that I looked at. Maybe they saw me catching that, but for me that was like intimidating. It was intimidating. I felt they don't really have respect for that lady, even if she's a principal and even if she has this power, she's still seen as a lady. You know what I mean? And if it's a guy, they'll never do that. The guy goes inside of the room, everybody starts getting him coffee, delivering messages. It's like seriously, the king is coming and everybody starts serving him right away, serving him information, serving him coffee, serving him mail, anything. Just amazing. I've seen that multiple times in so many occasions, and then when it's the lady, they will just make fun of her or like say comments about her. Thank goodness I don't really know Japanese fluently. Honestly, I don't really know what I would do. Probably would be very disappointed all the time. But yeah, that's that. There's still this gender, men prevail here. Honestly, I don't even know what was I thinking. If I knew all that, you'll never make me come here ever, just for a visit, and that's it. But living here and just getting into down to the everyday life, there are good people and bad people everywhere. I get that. There are people, and there are not really bad people in this world. There are just people who make not the right choices and hurt others. That there are people, and we all do that at some point or another. We all do. But yeah, it's just very different from what I grew up with, and not being able to express your feelings and being told to suck it up already kind of attitude. It's like, wait, there's no teamwork. Like, there's teamwork at school, there's teamwork at work, there's teamwork everywhere, but like when you're in the family unit, every single person of that family is doing something completely different in the same room. So, and growing up, we were doing things together. So for me, it's like, okay. So I would try to keep my boys, my kids doing things together. Like, we would go for a walk, we would talk. It's called bonding time. And instead of that, everybody here is just grabbing their device. It could be a computer, it could be 3DS, it could be Nintendo Switch, it could be iPhone, it could be TV, it could be anything. And everybody's on their own. So I'm trying to be the glue. Yeah, I'm tired. And just keep everybody together and just keep going a conversation, which is pretty exhausting, by the way, because nobody really cares. Sometimes I don't even listen to or hear you what you're saying because they talk to each other in Japanese. Oh, that's another thing I snapped at last night. It was just really rude because the rule is at home we speak English because that's their first language. That's what we teach them. It's my second language. It's his second language, but it's the boy's first language. So, and that's how we communicate, because nobody else knows fluently Japanese or Bulgarian. So yeah, I see them because they go to Japanese elementary school. That's the language that prevails. That's the language that is dominion now. So I know it's about games and stuff, and they talk really trashy sometimes, and I don't like it. I really don't. And I know it's a kid thing also. I get it. But one thing they don't really realize is, like, first of all, it's ruin the house, and second of all, it's very disrespectful for those who don't get it. So sometimes I would start talking to them in Bulgarian, completely everything, and just shoot everything in Bulgarian, like brush your teeth or like get ready for bed or go take a bath or something like that. And they'll be like, I don't understand you. I'm like, and I just keep going in Bulgarian. So I want them to feel what I feel when they do that in the language of this country we live in, so they kind of know. And I was like, if we move back to where I'm from, that's how you're gonna be feeling all the time. And I don't want you to experience that now, because now there is no way you can adapt and catch up with. It's a bit late. They're big for it. They're not like starting school now, so they can learn easily. It's a bit late. So yeah, but I think the oldest one, he gets it, and I think the youngest one, he gets it sometimes. It's just the middle guy, he doesn't really care. It's just whatever. And that is another, I mean, there are many layers as to why and how and what is difficult for a foreigner here, especially raising your kids here. It's really hard. You can't really communicate with the doctors when your kids go to the doctor. One time I was taking my oldest of the three old boys, my youngest actually, yeah, he was having a fever. He was not feeling well, and he's a drama, so he likes to act out things. He would be a great actor, by the way. He loves music, he loves acting. It's in his blood. He'll just do anything great. I think in those like Disney musical movies, like where everybody sings and dances, yeah, he's like that kind of guy. So we would go to the doctor with him, and she'll just check his throat and check his chest, the regular check. And she'll be like, he seems fine. And I'm like, so he has a fever, and it was a Friday night, so I was like, I'd rather take him now, so in the weekend I don't have to worry when the hospitals are closed up. And so she was like almost giving me that look as to why did I bring him there. And I was like, see, if I could explain to her, if I was able to explain to her in Japanese that particular kid, once he gets a fever, like seriously like a normal cold, he would burn with the 40 Celsius degrees, like right up, very easily, like in no time he would burn. I know that's his weakness, and all of my kids have different weaknesses, but that's his. And so he would burn, and it's not good. Like one time he even passed out when he was about to hit 1 year old. Before he turned 1, everybody in the house got the flu, except me, I think. So the other two were recovering. There were no twins, obviously. It was really a long time ago, 6 years ago. And their father had type B, they had type A. I don't know, A and B. The difference is one is a really bad headache and high fever, the other one is runny tummy and you just go to the bathroom all the time. So they were recovering from that, and then I see him sitting there. He never stops moving around. He's just this kind of kid, always moving. He was just sitting, and he was very active boy. So I measured his temperature. It showed 39.8 or 30 or 40. And when he hit 40, I was like, I have to do something about it. So my mother-in-law, of course, goes, the father is dying in the other room. He's dying. He's so dying with the flu. He is just dying. So I was with the 3 kids in the kitchen, and so she took him to a clinic. In the clinic, that little kiddo passes out because the fever, he reaches 41. So from there, they take him with the ambulance to the big hospital, and I couldn't drive back then. That's another story I have to tell you guys about going to driving school in Tokyo, because they speak English there. Anyways, I couldn't drive, so my father-in-law was driving me. I grabbed like his clothes and a bag of diapers and whatever I could for me and him, and we happened to drive behind the ambulance. Now the law is strict and it's for everybody, and if it's not an emergency, everybody on that particular road has to drive at 40 kilometers per hour. I don't know that in miles, but it's pretty slow. The ambulance was driving with 40, and we were driving with 40 right behind it. My kid is in there, unconscious. Can you imagine how would you feel in that very moment? It's like, every time I think about it, I just can't. Those people, I can't. You know how ambulances drive usually, right? Not only in the movies, in real life. Yeah, 40. They're driving with 40 and we're right behind them. And I just prayed so hard in my heart. I prayed, if that kid survives, I will be always forever grateful to God. And we go there and they take him out, and he woke up. He regained his consciousness, and so we stayed for 2 days in there with IV in his hand, but like it was all wrapped up with a wooden it was kind of a piece of wood that was under his arm to keep all the tubes in place. So because he's small, he didn't really understand much, and I was still breastfeeding him, and he also ate. So I remember my mom-in-law, she stayed in the room with us. I was in the little crib with him. How we slept, I don't remember any of it, but we slept together in that little crib, and she was sleeping on some kind of extra bed that they put, but it was really low down to the floor. So she always would buy bread from the convenience store, which was in the hospital. They had a convenience store. It was like, wow, so cool. So he would eat that, and he was fighting for his life so bad. He's a fighter. But that experience, I'll never forget it. It's not like I hold a grudge to anybody. No, it's just like, it was really hard. Being the mom in that situation was really hard. And there's so many other things like that had to go through, but that one was, I think, the worst. And I never had before that, a kid or myself, being admitted by doctors in the hospital and ambulances and things like that, and not being there with the baby. I don't think here they do that. It's just they just take the person and that's it. They don't really, there's no such thing as like family members, blah blah blah. No, I don't know, at least I don't have that impression. But family, and I admire that the fact that they stay calm in stressful situations. They stay calm, and they know Boriana, she reacts, and that's what they always say. Well, I don't tell you because you react. Yeah, I'm a person with feelings, and I am here in this foreign place where I have to deal with everything that is not familiar to me every single day for 10 years. So guess what? It's piling up. and it's not really a pleasant experience. But what keeps me going is the kids. It's just a joy for me to see them growing and how they develop as being good people and happy babies, and it just really makes me happy. It's like the result of what you have been putting yourself through all those years, with no much support emotionally, especially emotionally. Yeah, it gives me another idea for another video. But for today, that's it, because my battery is almost gone, guys. And all I want you to know is, no matter how hard it is, it's always paid off, because it's worth it. It's they might not remember those hardships, but they will know that their mom was always there. Your mom is always there for you. So, and that's what it is. For me, that's what it is. It's just, I know one day they will be very much more involved into, their own self. Like every teenager goes through that, I know that. But for now, when they're still my babies, all of them, I just love them as much as I can. And anytime, anywhere they are, they should know that, mommy's there for them. Okay, I'm really tired. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you guys get the idea. Be strong and keep going in this corona and election results in the States. Just whatever happens, guys, God is in the making of everything, so he's in charge. Okay, love y'all. Bye.